Yeah, 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 yeah. I run my fingers through her hair as she smiles and says that she loves me. Isn't it lovely when the one you lusting is the one you're loving?
All right, so over the weekend, Donald Trump made a speech at Benedict College and HBCU in Columbia, South Carolina. It's safe to say that Donald Trump has never been around that many black people ever in his life. But I'll say this, that he wasn't around that many black people then. Even when he gave a speech at a college and HBCU, he stuffed the ballot box. He made sure that there were 200 of people, his supporters there, and only 7 of those students allowed to be there. And he was receiving the Bipartisan Justice Award from these people at Benedict College. Almost any time Van Jones is somewhere and you're a black person, you'd be wise to be on the other side of it. Now, I have no idea what has happened to this cat. I don't know what he believes, but he maligned Kamala Harris for refusing to sit in a room and be used for a prop like he seems to do so eloquently. Donald, because what he said specifically, because I don't want to misquote him, he said basically, running away from a conversation that never solved anything. Some people will abandon a microphone because they don't like what the person who touched it last. Others are smart enough to grab that microphone and make sure they get the last word. It's interesting that he would malign Kamala Harris for doing exactly what Donald Trump did. He made sure that only his supporters were there. He made sure he got what he needed and he left. He was not there to have a conversation. Donald Trump is a showman. That's what he is. It's magic. He does magic tricks. He does nothing and pretend like. Interestingly enough, today he's in there talking to police chiefs. You think that's gonna go good for black people? What's happening in Texas? When that young woman Tatiana Jefferson was shot down, they wanted an independent body to come in, and when they were forced to face between Texas officials and the Justice Department, Trump's and Barr's Justice Department, who do you think they chose? He is not interested in helping black people, and it's resentful for a man like for Van Jones to pretend like he's an interesting conversation. He's let 2 black people go, and you give him a bipartisan award, justice award, for what? Everything he does is to lock y'all up and to look good doing it. And everything he does, he's abetted by men like Van Jones. You malign Kamala Harris, but you say nothing to him. 7, it was 200 people in there. 10 of those students were were invited. 7 came, and the rest of them were locked in their rooms while that man gave that speech, and you gave him a bipartisan justice award. For what? He is the master of using you as optics. You might as well be the Mercedes backdrop at a club. He is a master of pretending to do something. And he's always abetted by men like you, earnest-looking men who pretend like they have people's best interests at heart and meanwhile make us look worse and do worse. What you have done, Van, you have normalized him, and she refused to do it. And you maligned her because she wouldn't play the role you played. You should be ashamed of yourself. 2 black men are free, and thousands will go to jail because you believe that he's really doing something. He pretends to do stuff, and he's abetted by cats like you. You malign her because she refused to do what you did. Shine his shoes. It is ridiculous for you. And those people at the SBC, how many times are HBCU going to be around this cat and get nothing for it but a picture? That's what they do. You wonder why they're in trouble all the time financially, because they got men who believe that that's the proper thing to do, running their colleges. Donald Trump does magic tricks. That's what he does. He does magic tricks. He uses black people for optics and nothing more. He goes to take your award for a bipartisan award and say, look at these black people love me. And then he talks to police chief in Chicago. You think he's going to help you there? Donald Trump does magic tricks. He's the magic. Guess who's the trick?
Mm. This clip is from 2019 when Donald Trump went to Benedict College and filled the place with his supporters. The way he shows up to the rallies, and before they go to the rallies, they handed out shirts in the communities of people who might be unhoused and paid them $20 to put on a Blacks for Trump shirt. Some of them, they didn't even update the shirts this time. This is Blacks for Trump 2020 is what you see. They'll find somebody, slap a cowboy hat on them. The black church that he went to, we all heard, it was not a black church. The people in there were bussed in from another conference, the barbershop, the Chick-fil-A in Atlanta that was staged. The pictures where you have Donald Trump surrounded by black women, Donald Trump surrounded by black men. AI staged. But my question is, why do they work so hard to try to get us to follow this gaslighting, lying narrative? DL is correct. And then to have someone like a Van Jones, who I will forever question, because some days he's crying, then he's presidential, the next day, like, follow the bouncing check. At some point, CNN, shame on you, and everybody that's pushing him on us. So I will say that, because he's the black man white people feel comfortable around. And if your comfort is all that it concerns you, not truth, not actually engaging with people, not actually, inspiring folks, but your comfort, as long as you have a black face, that's your check. We put a black person there. It's insulting. Enough. So I thank DL for allowing me to bring this back, this oldie but goodie, because it's still relevant, is the point. Because he's still out there talking that dumbness, and it's Kamala, Vice President Kamala Harris.
I knew you.
We got to learn how to say her name. We got to know how to say her name. We got to know how to say her name, because she could be President Kamala Harris. Let's go. It's so easy. Yes. Thoughts and prayers, Dr. Danny, before we go to the phone.
Yeah, I mean, as a HBCU enthusiast, that's embarrassing to me. Like, why would y'all have that man there? Like, that is embarrassing to me. And for those who are unhoused, and I understand, getting some coins so you can get your next meal, or
I don't blame them.
Them at all. But Van Jones, you are not unhoused. You have no. You can't stand on anything. You have no business. Like, sometimes I don't know. Sometimes you seem like you're black. Sometimes you seem like, I don't know what you are. Sometimes you're crying. Sometimes you're upset and yelling. Like, who are you? You have no identity, and you don't represent us. So I can understand the unhoused, the students who if they need some money. Yes. But what are you doing? And to what detriment, to what harm are you doing?
Well, I mean, if you look at it, he came up in he was the Obama energy person that had controversy. He connected with Prince. They were going to do this whole coding thing and get 1 million black boys to learn how to code. I had him on the show to talk about it. Oh, yeah. Prince dies. That fell away. At every turn, he's somebody that feels like, he's an opportunist. Okay, he had dreadlocks, and now he's, pussy lips and the glasses. Okay, then
the glasses. The glasses make him very palatable.
Yeah, he was radical, and now he's not. I know people evolve, but they don't change like the wind. People who knew me in college and in high school will tell you I was this.
Right.
Like I've grown and matured and evolved, but you gonna catch that smoke in high school, college. It was always kind of like this outlier in terms of not moving with the crowd. This guy moves with whatever, and then he got $100 million from Bezos, and I'm sure he's going to do something with it. I love criminal justice reform, but that can't be the thing. Why not finish the coding thing with that you promised Prince you were going to do? Why not finish that?
Yeah, throw some coins at that. I mean, Bezos' wife gave some HBCU coins, so we appreciate those coins. But what are you doing? And it's fine if you don't have an identity, if you're still trying to find yourself. But why are you pushing that on the community? Why are you pushing that on the world? Like, you figure yourself out, then come back. But this is what is cognitive dissonance, which is what I keep saying over here. Like, you say you believe things, and then you act totally opposite. It seems like you're delusional. I mean, that's not my patient, but I'm just saying it seems like some cognitive dissonance is going on here. Yeah, I believe this, but I act a totally different way. Explain.
I can explain it from this standpoint, as somebody that has watched media, been in media, taught media, that you have very few most of us we go to work, we come home, weekend, rinse and repeat. We work for 20, 30, 40 years, multiple jobs, hopefully make more money each year, get a raise, cost of living, et cetera. We like to travel, and we got our lives, right? Children, spouse, that's life, right? But there are like these meteoric things that happen, and it's fame. That's a drug, a hell of a drug, fame, having people know you. And there are people that crave and they go after that by any means necessary, right? And then there's money. People crave that. And so whatever they need to do, shapeshift or whatever to get that money, they're going to do that. Everyone else be damned. And I think we are in a culture where we, those of us who consume this, we accept it because it's so prevalent that we don't hold those people to account. And I know, if if that person, Van Jones, gets a show on something, people will watch it or they'll listen to it because we have not been conditioned to say, this person's not for us, so I can't be for you. There has to be an exchange of energy, right? If I'm giving you my eyeballs and I can even understand the Tyler Perry stuff, right? Because I watched Divorce in Black, Dr. Danny.
I haven't watched it yet. I haven't watched it yet.
I watched it. It's horrible, but it's a good Lifetime movie. So I'll just say that it's as good as a mediocre Lifetime movie. But don't we demand more? No, we don't. But I also give Tyler Perry a free pass because he's made millions of Black millionaires or thousands of Black millionaires. He has done something for the city of Atlanta that I can't even, like Maynard Jackson, Andy Young, and Tyler Perry has created an economy in Atlanta that to me is way more valuable than my desire to have good content when he produces it, So
some changes in the plot.
We should, but we're not. He's not going to change.
Okay.
We had a fight about it on my show. He went off mic while we were live. He was mad as hell. Will never come back on because I had the audacity to tell him his stuff wasn't good to his face, but I will support you anyway. But I don't think I didn't think that was radical. I'm sure you haven't heard this before. Like, I'm not telling you anything, but the end of the sentence is, I support you anyway because of what you do for the community. And that should be enough. And if you cared enough, then you would stop writing, producing, and directing. You would find good writers and producers or good writers and directors. You can still produce it. Yeah. You ain't got to put all of the people that you think you like in a movie. And shout out, Megan Good was good. Corey Hardrick, who was married to one of the Tia or Tamara, I don't know which one of the twins, the Black twin. He was married to the Black twin. He was good. Debbie Morgan, Angie and Jesse. I'm never gonna say anything about Angie. Debbie Morgan. Yes, wow. She can do no wrong. And Beyonce's former stepdaddy was in it as well. The casting was good. You know what I'm saying? It just didn't make no damn sense. It was just.
Are there other stories? I'm just wondering, for Black people, other than like a crazy Black.
No, this is Tyler. I think this is Tyler Perry's therapy, his pathology. This is what he does. The only reason why I brought him up is there are people that I would look at and say that's mediocre, but I'm gonna support them anyway because of what they do in the community, which to me is more valuable than my desire to have good content. Do you know what I'm saying? It's like it's more valuable than
and also Lifetime, Hallmark. They have so many more horrible.
Yes, that's what I'm saying. Why we can't? He could be that, and that's fine.
He can get his part. I feel like
I'm putting him in a different category to Van. He's not a detriment to Black people, other than the storylines are like, we're doing this again. This is what he does.
Van Jones, people just need to pay attention because I think if you just listen to him or just watch a few clips, like it doesn't take you that long to see that there is a lack of consistency. Like, who is this person? I think it's not going to take you that long. Just some YouTube scrolling at one evening when you're free. It's going to make you think, what is going on with this person? Who are they here for? And do they even know? Does he even have an idea about who is this? He's a palatable Negro.
But does it matter to him because he got his $100 million from Bezos to do whatever he wants, and he still gets to be on TV. CNN ain't firing him. He's on there. They put him in our faces every single time there's one of these things because they know we're going to react because that's part of the game, right? The algorithm, negative is just as good as positive. So he does bring the algorithm because everybody's when he's on, he's trending, and most people cussing him out and finding the D.L. Hughley clip that I just played, and other clips. But it's crazy to me that we live in a world such as this where the bar isn't raised higher. We don't demand more.
Well, I hope that he has a therapist somewhere. I don't know, for his own good. That's the love I can provide,
I run my fingers through her hair as she smiles says that she loves me. Isn't it lovely when the one you're lusting is the one